Shalom, shalom. You know we getting ready to go into the Sabbath. I haven't been, making any videos. It's been kind of, how the devil do. He don't want to. He don't want you to get the word out and teach the word correctly. Because a lot of times our people are a stiff-necked people. Our people are a rebellious people. And we know this, and it's evident by when Moshe, my grandfather, went, up the mountain and went and got the commandments. And before Elohim could even get the commandments out of his mouth, they was already down there, making a golden calf, which is basically Baal, the worship of Baal. And they were practicing debauchery, basically, having orgies and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And so all through the Old Testament, we see that, the people were a stiff neck and rebellious people, which is equivalent to witchcraft, basically. Our people were, in Egypt after Joshua had passed and Jacob had passed, for some years. And so, when you're somewhere for a long time, you usually start to learn the customs and the practices of the nation that you're in. So being in Mizraim, we learned, what basically they learned from Babylon, which is, Freemasonry, you know what I mean? Which is, uh, practicing, rituals and stuff, which include the book of the DEAD. I ain't gonna spell it out, I guess, for the sake of, of this channel or of YouTube, but this is the history. This is why the Most High Yahuwah says for us not to go down into Egypt, because the things that they were practicing in Egypt were the very things that they were practicing in Babylon. You see, and it was witchcraft and black magic and all those things that they were practicing. Oblay, uh, 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 casting spells and stuff like that. And so, that entails, when you speak a word on somebody, this is why um, the Bible says it's by 2 or 3 witnesses that a testimony is established. And I'm going to read that for you. This is why it's so important for you not to bear false witness against people. You know what I mean? This is what they would call it in the New Testament in the church would be gossip, backbiting. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to deal with that today, because the Messiah was crucified, or was hanged from a tree, or from a stake. He was hanged by the testimony of 2 witnesses. You see what I'm saying? By the false testimony of 2 witnesses. And so, according to the Torah and according to the law, that if a false witness rose up against you and the things that they were saying were lies, they would have to face the same punishment that that they spoke upon you for bearing false witness. And that's why, Yasharel, we went into Slavery, because we gave up the Messiah for an innocent man, for a murderer. You see what I'm saying? And the Bible says that if you repay somebody evil for good, that evil will never leave your house. You see what I'm saying? And so this is why it's so important for you to know the Bible, and why it says that God is not mocked. So whatever you sow, that shall you also reap. You see what I'm saying? Because when you bear false witness against somebody, or, when you do something to somebody, you got to reap that. You see what I'm saying? You got to reap the same punishment that you was speaking on somebody else. And that's why a lot of times, you see a lot of people when they do things, the very thing that they wished up on somebody, it comes back on them. You see what I'm saying? This is why he says, David said that they had placed me in a snare, but the Most High delivered me. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get to dealing with dealing with, you know, this bearing of false witness. Uh, and then I'm gonna show you. You know, you can always go to uh, Proverbs 6:16, and it says 6 things. That's the Most High. Seven things are an abomination, and that's the difference between sin and wickedness. You see what I'm saying? Wickedness is an abomination. You see what I'm saying? Sin is what did I just say? I lost my train of thought. But uh, you know, the Most High hates sin. So 6 things do I hate. You see what I'm saying? But seven are an abomination. So, you know, it's a difference between iniquity and a difference between sin. You know, the Most High doesn't like it when you sin, so he turns his back on you, you know, but he's married to a backslider, but he turns his face from your sin so that he doesn't have to execute you because you're not supposed to be sinning. All right, you know, he not execute you, but execute judgment. You see what I'm saying? And this is why he turns his face from you. But now when you're abominable, you're an abomination, you know, he gives you over to a reprobate mind, and he lets what's going to happen to you happen to you. He basically give you over to the devil. You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to read from Exodus, and I'm going to read Exodus 23 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report out of thou shalt not raise a false report out not thine hand. Oh, excuse me. Put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. So you are not to raise up a false report against people. You know, no matter, you know, what you heard through the grapevine. You see what I'm saying? Put not thy hand. That's your works. Your hands represents your works. You see what I'm saying? With the wicked, you know, because that's what the wicked do, the abominable. You know what I'm saying? To be an unrighteous witness. Deuteronomy 5:20. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. Let's go, Salaki. Let's go back to Exodus 20:16. Thou shalt not. This is the commandments, the 10 commandments. But you also have to understand with the 10 commandments, there was laws and statutes too that you were to keep. Now, some of the statutes and the ordinances were just for the high priest. So all, you know, 613 you wasn't required to keep. You know what I mean? You were only required to keep, you know, a majority of them, and that's for you to go read and find out for yourself. But, you know, only the high priest and the priests were supposed to, you know, keep, you know, some of the other rituals that included the 613 laws and statutes. And then you got Exodus 23:1. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. And that's what happened to Hamashiach, or who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You know, false witnesses raised up against him to have him hang from the stake. And that's why we were sold into slavery, because we raised up a false witness against the Messiah. See, the word came for us to be corrected and to turn back to the word. If we would have never crucified him, then we wouldn't even be here right now in this place where we at and all around the 4 corners of the earth. We would still be in Jerusalem, but because we're so wicked and we love money so much, you know, because money is the root of all evil, the love of it, you know, and so many of our people, they love money so much that they deny what the Torah is even about, what the scriptures is even about. And Yeshua said this, or Yahusha said this in the New Testament, to what? Love God with all your heart, your might, and your soul, and to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And on these 2 laws, does all the laws hinge. You see what I'm saying? So for the love of money, people have forgotten the love of their neighbor, the love of God. You see what I'm saying? And so back to what I was saying about Hamashiach, you know, being crucified. being hanged from a tree. You see what I'm saying? He was beaten. He took what, 39 lashes? I thought it was 49. I said in one of my videos 49, but it was 39 39 lashes. But that's why we were beaten, how we were in slavery. That's why we received those stripes. See, you got to make the connection. There's a connection. This is how you understand and know that we are the people. This is the sign and the wonder that the scripture is talking about, that we will be a sign and a wonder. You see what I'm saying? And so because we had Hamashiach crucified, and we had him beaten, whipped, you know, he was bruised for our iniquities. You see what I'm saying? By his stripes, we are healed. You see what I'm saying? So we were beaten too through slavery. Our ancestors was. You see what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, we were hanged from trees, just like he was hanged from a tree. So you got to make the connection. This is why he was hanged from the tree, because we bore false witness against him, along with other things. We broke the commandments. That's why the Torah was nailed to the tree. The word was crucified. The word came to be crucified so that you could be reconciled with the word. But see, we don't want to be reconciled with the word because we love sin. We love living in sin. You know, I'm gonna go somewhere real quick before I come, because you know, you gotta understand that Hamashiach only came for us first. You know, we want to be equal with everybody, you know what I'm saying, you know, and everything. We not equal, because if we was equal, we wouldn't get treated the way we get treated over here. You see what I'm saying? So we not equal. They know that, and you should know that too. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to Matthew, and I'm gonna return back to that. But the Torah is what makes the playing field level. You know what I'm saying? Torah does that. But the scriptures was given to us, first the Jew, then the Gentile, first the Yahudim, and then the Goam. You know what I mean? First the Jew, then the Greek. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to Matthew 15. I think it's 14, 24, something like that. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, okay, here we go. Hold on. And behold, this is Matthew 15. My eyes is kind of bad, so I think this is around 20. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, Adonai, basically. You know what I mean? They took the name out, you know, so you couldn't reverence the name. You know, when you take the name out, there's no fear. You see what I'm saying? No reverence. You know, so they called him Lord, and called him God, instead of calling him by his name. And so she said, have mercy on me, O Lord, Adonai, Yahuwah, or Yahusha. Thou son of David, my daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. So she had a spirit on her. Only the Torah can heal you from the spirits. Only discipline to the Torah can heal you from the spirits. You see what I'm saying? The only way, some of these spirits, they only come out by fasting and praying. So you have to fast and you have to pray to get rid of some of these devils that's on you. You know what I mean? But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him. So why didn't he answer her? Because they didn't have right to the kingdom at that time. You see what I'm saying? And they still have to go through us. We are the ones that the covenant was made with. You see what I'm saying? This is what they don't want to talk about. This is why the so-called Jews, you know what I'm saying, you know, are so beloved. You know what I mean? Because they have stolen an identity. You see what I'm saying? But they don't fit the criteria. They don't fit the description. You see what I'm saying? You know, they don't fit the signs and the wonders. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, of Yasharel. So that's he was only sent to us. We made the covenant. That's why we had to pay for the covenant. That's why no other nation has had to pay the has had to go through the things that we have went through. That's why we had to go through the slavery, because that's why we had to take the beatings. That's why we were all these things that we know that happened during those times. This is why. And so, but they can by faith be adopted though. You know what I mean? You know, if they believe in our Elohim, if they believe in our word that was given to us, the covenant that was made with us, they could be saved. You see what I'm saying? But how you gonna say you serve our God and love our God? You see what I'm saying? And then you don't love the people. You see what I'm saying? Because you know we in a time where the Antichrist is being revealed, where the beast is being revealed. See, anything that is that goes against Torah is anti, because that's who Christ was. He was the Torah. So anything that goes against Torah is anti-Mashiach. Anything that tells you you don't have to keep the Torah, you don't have to, follow the commandments, you don't have to follow the laws, you don't have to keep the feast days no more, you don't have to, keep the dietary laws. That is anti. That is against. That's what anti means, against something. So you see, he was against, he was sent to the house of Yasharel. So now we're going to go back to bearing this false witness. And I'm about to be done. I'm going to end on, if a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the man between whom the controversy is shall stand before Elohim, which is God. This is all caps, Lord, all caps, which is Yahuwah, which is God the Father. You see what I'm saying? When you see Lord, that is Hamashiach, Yahusha. You see what I'm saying? Before the priests and the judges which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness and have testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you, and those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. And the eyes shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. So that's where that comes from. So you have to understand the Torah, and it has to be imparted to you correctly. See, the impartation is not coming correctly. You see what I'm saying? In Psalms 27:12, hold on, I read that. 27:12, deliver me not over unto the will of my enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such are breathed out cruelty. So we're gonna go to Proverbs. Where is that at? Okay, we're gonna go to Proverbs 6:19, and I'm gonna close out on this. But I'm gonna start at 6:16. Because we going into the Sabbath. We going into the Sabbath. Uh, 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 and so that's what the Sabbath was about. The Sabbath was about the keeping of the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. That is what the Sabbath was all about. That's why he worked 6 days and then he rested. That was the rest. Was the law, statutes, and commandments were put here to give you rest. That's why when they were walking through the wheat field, and the disciples picked a head of wheat and ate, the Pharisees and the Sadducees is why do they do what's unlawful on the Sabbath? And he said, did not Elohim make the Sabbath for man and not man for Sabbath? Because the Pharisees and the Sadducees were trying to hold them according to their customs, to the way they do things, like they God. And you not God. So we're gonna go Proverbs 6:16. These 6 things doeth Yahuwah hate, That's all caps, Lord. Yea, 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look. A proud look is when you know you sinning, you know you wrong, and you don't correct yourself. That's being proud. When you know you walking in sin and you don't turn from your sin, that's a proud look. You know you don't did something wrong, and instead of going to your brother and being like, man, hey, look, I shouldn't have did you like that, man. Can you forgive me? Because the Bible says to forgive a man. If a man comes to you and he asks you for forgiveness, how many times are you to forgive him if he step on your toe? If he step on your toe 7 times, I think that's what it say. And in the word, Yahusha said 77 times 7, right? So as long as your brother, if your brother offend you, if he do something to you and he come back to you and he asks you for forgiveness, you know what I'm saying? You ought to forgive him. But you know what I'm saying? These people there do you wrong and know they doing you wrong and don't even say nothing. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a proud look. A lying tongue, you know, where you go around telling lies, you know what I'm saying people did stuff that they ain't even do, you know what I'm saying? So you can make them look bad and run their name through the dirt. Whoever, this is in general. This ain't got nothing to do with me. We just coming from the scriptures. And hands that shed innocent blood. When you go about, you know what I'm saying, shedding innocent blood, trying to, you know, your works. You know, we just seen that, you know, when you bear false witness, that represents your work. So you put people in a predicament, in a dilemma to where their life could get took. Because you running your mouth and don't know how to shut up. Because you heard through the grapevine, you wasn't there, you didn't witness nothing, you didn't see nothing, but you heard. So you gonna join the crowd and put your hands to work with them, right? Okay. A heart that devises wicked imaginations. So in your heart, you know that you don't know the truth, but you like, man, yeah, man, I'm gonna say it anyway because, you know, man, shoot, I don't like him anyway. He think he all that and such and such. And you know what I'm saying? Hopefully something happened to him, because that's what y'all do behind closed doors. See, you got to bring everything out of darkness into the light. You see what I'm saying? Because that needs to stop. You know what I mean? But the Most High said, vengeance is mine. So that's why we leave it in his hands. But just know, when you bear false witness against somebody and it ain't true, you got to pay for that. You got to pay the same thing that you was called. That's why he said that God is not mocked. So whatever you sow, that shall you also reap. I'm about to close. Feet that be swift to run to mischief. You know what I'm saying? You're always in somebody's business. Always over there, you know what I'm saying? Swift to go, oh, yeah, girl, did you hear that? Oh, I heard, oh, yeah, I'm finna go tell such and such. Feet. Running around, just busybodies. A false witness that speaketh lies. There go that lying tongue. And he that soweth discord amongst the brothers. I mean, that's, you know what I'm saying? That sound like us all the way. That's all we do. Oh, he think he all that because he got woo because he man, I wouldn't mess with him. Oh yeah, he did such and such and such, man. Don't mess with him. They said this, he did this. So don't mess with him, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, even to the point to where, you know, it'd be, you know, to where it'd be little females that might like you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you know, it'd be people on the sideline hating. They'd be like, yeah, girl, I heard this about him. Don't mess, girl. If I was you, girl, you better leave that man alone. And don't even know what happened. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that's how things work. That's the working of a false witness. You see what I'm saying? And that's a commandment. Thou should not bear false witness. So I'm just making you aware of the scriptures, because see, we are judges. So right now, what I'm doing is bringing it up. You know what I'm saying? Charging you. I'm charging you right now. So you can't say that you don't know, because if you continue in your ways, then the Most High is gonna judge you. That's what all the brothers that you hear on the corner talking, they judging right now. We are judges in the earth. And when you come across this channel and you listen to it and you hear it, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have no excuse. And I'm about to close on this. Yeah, that was the last one. And he that soweth discord amongst the brethren. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna be out of here. Shalom, peace and blessings. All praises be to the Most High. All right. You good?